Every time you are seeing something, you color it with your own interpretation. Whatever it is, you put on sunglasses and just decide the way something is, what it actually means. When you see something, it does carry a meaning for you. So, if it is something that somebody has said, or something you saw, you interpret it. It has a meaning and interpretation. And then that meaning and interpretation carries feelings for you. It comes with thoughts. Hence, it creates a world with its own reality. And it's different for every one of us. Each one of us looks at something and creates a story with his mind. And it's astonishing when you stop doing it for once. So if you see something and you do not give it an interpretation, you do not give it a meaning, you just see it the way it is, it's beyond any description, beyond good or bad, beyond your own preference. And if you really have to, choose a preference, choose a pair of glasses to see the world through, then you might as well pick something that actually makes you feel good. If you actually understand that everything that you are experiencing, it is the way it is because it's being experienced through you, and it carries the story it has, the meaning it has, the flavor it has, because it is the way you interpret it, it is the way you read it. That nothing in the world actually does carry a meaning on its own. Nothing means bad. Nothing means good. And even if there are 900 people that see the same object with the same experience, considering that object as a negative experience, right? Even if there's just one person that sees the same event, it doesn't have the same exact experience, that must mean mathematically that that object, that experience, doesn't carry a meaning on its own. Otherwise, it would have to be the same for every person on the planet. Can you understand that? If there is one person, even just one person, that doesn't agree with you on that specific event, on that experience, on that opinion, it means that there isn't an opinion on its own. It's not independent. It is just what you are seeing. So when you can actually see that, it becomes natural to understand that nothing carries a meaning on its own. Everything is completely empty, 100% empty, and it's not abstract. It's very practical when you think of it. If there's even one person that sees something different, and the way you see it, it must mean that object does not carry a meaning on its own. Otherwise, we will all have the same experience. Not only that, not only there is more than one person that doesn't agree with you, the entire planet has a different experience. So we're all basically living, carrying a pair of glasses. We're all living through the world of illusion that we carry with our own mind projection. Everything we see, it is, and we say it is just the way you think it is. Nothing more, nothing less. Everything you believe, it is the way it is. It's not magical thinking. I'm not talking about making something happen. I'm just saying that the way you believe it is, it is. If you believe it is something different, well, it's something different. Your own opinion is that accountable, is that valuable, it is that solid. It is exactly what you think it is. So to me, there are two ways to approach this. One way is actually take advantage in a sense that, oh wow, I have so much power in my thought. Like the Buddha said, what you think you become. So I can think of something positive. Since it does not carry any meaning, I might as well think of something positive instead of thinking negatively, because it doesn't carry a meaning on its own. So I might, with my own intention, project a different vibration, a different perception, just because I know that I can project anything, so I might as well project something positive. Hence, you would create a more positive energy, a more positive life around you, because you decide to see it that way, since it's empty to begin with, right? If you understood the analogy, it's not even an analogy, if you understood the fact that nothing is objective, that there's no objectivity whatsoever, so everything is subjective, hence nothing carries a meaning on its own, then you must understand that you project the meaning onto something. So there are two ways. One way would be that, well, you can project that positivity, you can project then beauty instead of that no, you can project a yes instead of a no. But what I would invite you to do, which is a step forward, a step beyond positivity, would be stop projecting at all. What about not projecting anything at all? What would happen then? If we do not go for happiness, if we don't go for positivity, if we don't go for anything, what would happen then? If you can look at this video without thinking anything of it, not even it's good or bad, what does it bring with you? If you can look at a pen, if you can look at your phone or a book of the color blue without thinking anything of it, what would come to you? What would be? What would it look like? Have you ever tried it? To just stop projecting completely. Because you see, when you stop giving your own preference to something, what happens is you will get what that thing is. Because you see, as long as you put your own interpretation, it cannot be what it is. It is what it is. Everything, it is what it is. So as soon as you labeled it, as soon as you made a configuration, you made a way to see that it's not the wholeness of that object experience. And so everything could be perceived that way without any interpretation. And imagine to walk into a day just getting out of your house when there's nothing that you know. There's nothing. So many times you just walk around the corner, we're already projected what's next. We're already thinking about what's next, what's next, what's next. And you already know everything. What about do not know anything and just having no meaning to anything? And at first it can sound almost scary because you're so used to know everything and so used to feel familiar and comfortable with your own experience, with your own knowing of what something means, what something is. And so it feels like you're detaching from something. But it's actually really, really new and fresh, exotic and rejuvenating to having the experience of being into something that carries no meaning whatsoever. No meaning whatsoever. And so refreshing, so refreshing. Imagine to walk into something which is completely new, 100%. And the ultimate level will be, look at yourself that way. Try to refrain from any thought, or do not believe in anything that appears in your imagination. Do not believe in any thought or all the things you know. What if you can look at yourself that way? You see, in Buddhism, that they call this suchness. The suchness of reality, which I think it's such a beautiful word. Suchness, because it is such that you can't say anything about it. The suchness. Suchness of this moment. Just the way it is. Can you do that? Ciao!